Hey, this is Edwin Culver from Making an Impact, owner and CEO of Foxhound Advertising, and this video is all about the best B2B inbound marketing to use as a SaaS startup, especially in this year, specifically how to do B2B inbound marketing for a SaaS, because I am all about helping marketers, helping SaaS companies, helping online businesses go from being unwelcome pests and turning into welcome guests. Now, if you're running into problems with like cold calling is just taking way too much time, it's too expensive, people aren't signing up for your, software as a service, it's just not making sense. You're not getting through the decision makers. You're getting stuck with the gatekeepers. If you don't know how to scale your software as a service marketing, maybe you've got a few channels of marketing that are working, that are getting you leads and getting you sales, but you're not able to scale. If you can't break into a million, ARR, if you haven't like been able to master like one channel or platform yet, or even if you're kind of just like spaghetti balls strain, spaghetti getting slapped up on the wall, and you just don't have like one unifying strategy for actually growing, this video is going to be for you. And also in a minute, I'm going to show you how you can actually generate your own inbound B2B traffic totally for free for your SaaS company. But first, we got to talk about the most important piece, which is having a strategy. So many clients that I consult with, they've got ideas for tactics, right? And tactics are like the little things you can do. Oh, well, we're trying to use Facebook ads, or we're trying to do LinkedIn ads, we're doing LinkedIn outreach. And it's like, that's great. Those are all tactics though, right? Those are just like individual things that really need to be assembled into a much bigger picture. And you need to be taking over the battlefield, right? Not just getting caught up on what kind of swords or what kind of armor we're using. Like, okay, that's great that you've got the cool, fancy, amazing sword that nobody's ever used before, but are you able to distribute that across all of your soldiers across the entire battlefield, especially when you got multiple battles going on and everything like that? So got to figure out the strategy. And what I recommend, number one, when it comes to the strategy, is use email. Build an email list. So many folks I talk with, they're like, yeah, we know we need to do more email marketing. Yeah, we know we need to build a newsletter, but they're not doing it. And that's like the central part of your strategy, is building your list. Because if you can build your list and if you can nurture that list, that's going to be the 80-20 that solves all of the other problems for you. I think Mark Cuban always said, like, the solution is always just more sales. And then you scratch your head and you're like, okay, that's great, Mark Cuban, thanks, but like, how do I get more sales? And the way you get more sales is by getting a bigger list. I've got several, like I said, videos on how to, build your list, what to say in your list. In a minute, like I said, I'm going to show you a way to get free Google Ads traffic, so you can literally just build that list on autopilot day in and day out, with high intent buyer type folks. But you got to make sure when you get them on the list, you've got a clear strategy, right? And your strategy is going to be pinned on, number one, your ideal customer. Let me share the screen. Your ideal customer, easiest way to figure that out is not by spending all day long writing up a really complicated customer avatar and everything like that. You can do that if you're at scale, but if you're first starting off, or you're needing to launch another marketing channel for your B2B SaaS, I would just ask yourself, hey, what are the 2 to 3 things that our ideal customer needs to have in order to be a fit for working with us, right? So I use this example all the time. For us, we've got this AI software that helps folks book calls on autopilot. And what we've realized was, hey, 2 to 3 things they have to have is, number one, they're running paid ads. Number two, they have a high ticket offer. And number 3, they have someone else on their team who can manage this thing, like a secretary or something like that. That's it. Boom. Great. Now we can go find more of those people, and we can talk specifically to those problems. Hey, we can talk about problems about their paid ads. We can talk about problems about their high ticket offer. We can talk about problems about their staff being overwhelmed. We can talk about, at the end of the day, the main benefit we were giving them was, like, booked sales calls, high ticket booked sales calls, chock full calendar. So we can talk about that. And that just simplified everything. That gave us, a lens for everything. Now we can see everything through this, and we can start building our email list and just keep talking about those points and keep hammering those points on our email list. And that's what starts to build that authority. That's what tells people, oh, you know exactly what you're talking about here. And, you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. this keeps you, in your lane. This keeps you in your niche, right? And your niche isn't necessarily just like we're targeting XYZ industry. It's like, no, we happen to, we're targeting XYZ industry, and we happen to solve XYZ pain points, right? That's how you really focus down your niche there, and make sure that you're showing people that like you are the authority in your niche, and your niche is not just your industry, but your niche is also the painful problem you happen to solve. So you get super clear on your ideal customer by doing that. And then, your emails are all about that. Now, if once you've got that built out, you've got your strategy done, you've got really great email sequences. I got several videos about that. I got a full 10-part course here. I'll even share with you for free in a minute. But once you got that done, now you need to start, bringing folks in. So what we recommend, if you're starting from zero, is start building your case studies just using your personal network, right? Reach out to all the folks on LinkedIn, all the folks within your own personal email network, anybody like on forums and stuff like that. Give them irresistible offers. Offer for them to use the software for free, or to give them free extra consultations, or a longer trial period, whatever it is. Work with them for free until they get results, things like that. Get yourself a handful of case studies, right? At least 3 to 5 case studies, something like that. If you can get more, great. Once you've got your case studies, now that is your marketing material. All right. So you've got your ideal customer that you figured out who that is. You've got emails, you've got all your email sequences that talk about these points. Now you just need to figure out, okay, how do we get more people on the email list so we can warm them up like this? And killer way to do that is by using the case studies, the stories from your case studies. And all you got to do is just use the headline, formula from, I'm just going to put painful problem to dream result. I have to forgive my chicken scratch here. Okay, so from painful problem to dream result in time span, right? Okay, so from zero, to $10,000 in 30 days, right? Like that stereotypical thing right there. But you want to keep this simple so that you can go and implement it. Simple is executable and implementable. And I don't remember if I told you in this video or not. You should be taking notes. Watch this video all the way through. Make sure you got a notebook in hand right now, because at the end, I'm going to ask you to hey, circle one thing from your notes today that you can go and implement right away and get done today, so that you're actually taking action on this stuff. So, stick this in your notes here, because if you keep it simple, it's going to be actionable. And this is a really simple headline formula: from painful problem to dream result in time span. And, here's how Jim did it, whoever your case study is. Now you can use that, as your marketing. You can use that as your content posts. You can use that if you want to start getting into paid ads and stuff like that. That makes really great ads. SEO, you start making your blog articles all about Jim's story and things like that. Use that, as your headline, things like that. Then you can start doing outbound. You can cold call, you can cold email. This is something now you can give to people for free as a lead magnet. So instead of cold calling and trying to, sell them over the cold call, you can just say hey, by the way, we put together a free training that shows how our client Billy Bob went from 0 to 10, MRR in 30 days, whatever. And do you mind if I send that over to you? We're just giving it away to business owners for free. That changes the script of your cold call. Same thing with your cold email. Hey, do you mind if I send you this case study that shows you how to do X, Y, and Z? Another really cool, powerful way to get through, if you're doing B2B SaaS and you're needing to reach decision makers at a higher level, if you're needing to reach people who might have several accounts, so it's a really big it'd be a really big account for you, use a FedEx envelope. Send them a personalized FedEx envelope. And just the power of it being FedEx, 99% open rate, everybody opens that thing. More than likely the gatekeepers, probably not going to open it. She's going to be like, oh, this is really important. Here, Jim, I don't know what this is about. And okay, now the CEO or whoever the C level you're trying to reach opens it. So the FedEx envelope is super, super powerful there. And then also on the ad side, if you're needing to target specifically the decision maker of a larger company, if you're doing B2B SaaS, is I really like Gary Vee's technique where, go use a Facebook ad, because Facebook ads going to be cheaper cost per impressions than LinkedIn ads. And go use a Facebook ad and just say, like, does your CFO or whoever the decision maker is you're needing to reach, right? Does your CFO know about this? Or does your CMO know how to XYZ? And then it's just a link to the case study, and specifically, your lead magnet, how it helps them go, like ideally your lead magnet, it's like a PDF or a video or a downloadable ebook that, not only shares the case study, but then shows like how you can do it too. And so then now these, the person above your decision maker, right? The person above the CFO here, he's going to see this on Facebook. It's going to pop up. He's going to see this on Facebook, and he's going to immediately go and share it to his CFO and be like, hey, make sure you go read this. Let me know what you think. Is this something we can implement, et cetera, et cetera. You can do the same thing on LinkedIn. Everybody's like, but my audience isn't on Facebook. My audience is B2B, and like they're on LinkedIn. It's like they're actually on both. Facebook's bigger. Facebook has way more users than LinkedIn. They just happen to be in a different mindset. And it's cheaper on Facebook, cost per impressions right now. If it starts getting cheaper on LinkedIn, I'll be like, great, start with LinkedIn. But until then, I would say start with Facebook, use this technique. You can go and use this technique on LinkedIn as well. Or you can go straight for the juggler, go straight and target the CFO you want to reach, whatever that job title is you're wanting to reach there. And that's really like the biggest thing here, is so often on like the B2B marketing side, people, their nets are still way too wide, and they're really inefficient with their targeting. You can't just say like we're going after industry. You got to make sure you're saying job title. You got to make sure you figure out what these 2 to 3 ideal client things are. Maybe it's like the company has at least 500 employees, and whatever those other demographic things are. Be super clear on those, and then you can just put that in the copy of your ad. So like for companies with 500 or more employees, how Billy Bob went from painful problem to dream result in time. Like you can start just sprinkling that stuff in there to make sure you're getting your ideal clients, make sure you're getting these folks actually reading this thing, and just call them out in your headlines and stuff of your ads or your content, everything like that. But make sure you're getting really clear on like who you're attracting inbound, not just people in the accounting industry in general, but specifically CFOs at companies with 500 more employees, et cetera. And when you do like the LinkedIn ads and stuff like that, the last kind of tip that I'll add here is make sure that you're refreshing your creative. Okay, so you've built all this. You got a great email sequence that's warming people up. You're super clear on your ideal client. You've got case studies. You've got content. You're attracting the right people. Okay, so you're finally reaching the guys that you want to reach. If you are doing B2B and you're having to reach high-level C-level executives, decision makers like that, the next mistake that people make is not refreshing the creative enough, right? And this is the last piece. This is like the icing on the cake, the creative. And what I mean by the creative is, okay, all of the images you're using, maybe the style and the personality of the copy, maybe obviously the specific stories, the specific content. Ideally, you're not having to reinvent the wheel all the time, but just by changing the images, just by changing the style, go and use, start having copywriters make your content more entertaining, inspiring, humorous, whatever the brand you're wanting to create. Have them do that, because obviously this is going to be a smaller pool of people. This is not going to be millions upon millions of people that are seeing your ads. And so it's really easy to get caught in the trap of, great, we've got this thing working. Now let's just drill these guys with ads. And you drill them with ads, but it's the exact same ad over and over and over and over. Same image, same headline, same copy, same landing page, et cetera, et cetera. And they get really fatigued real quickly. They get really ad blind to you really quickly. And the solution to that is just make sure you're refreshing the creative. Do goofy things that can go viral, stuff like that. and just always be changing this up here, and know that you don't necessarily have to change all of the the bare bones or the skeleton of your content and everything like that. But at least if you're just kind of repackaging it differently and everything like that. I know another guy, like he sends not just a FedEx envelope, but like a package, obviously in the mail. This is what his agency does, and it's like a really ridiculous, goofy, I don't even remember now, but like unicorn, decorated birthday cake, or something like that, and just something ridiculous and over the top. And every month it's something different and just crazy and unique, and like usually there's food involved or something like that. So you can really start getting interesting here. But remember, this part right here, creative, going back to my earlier warning, that's a tactic. That is like that's talking about tactics, right? Getting in the mud and being like, oh, a unicorn cake that's over the top and ridiculous. Like, don't watch this video and think like, oh, Edwin said we should go create unicorn cakes that are really creative, so that's going to be what we're going to do from now on, and we're just going to keep doing it. Like, no, that's not a strategy. That's a tactic, all right? And that's just one little piece. The strategy is making sure you got your ideal client, make sure you've got a really great email or nurturing sequence built out, and make sure you got your case studies. Like you need the whole machine here. And once you've got this machine, now you can use the creative to make it interesting and fun and unique, and start blowing it up and expanding and everything like that. Now, like I said, you're going to build this machine and you're going to wonder, okay, but how do we get more people coming in and joining, getting inside of our ecosystem and everything like that? I put together a 10-part course. I'll put the link down in the comments below. You can get this totally for free. It's how to end the feast or famine customer acquisition trap once and for all, build a consistent and predictable pipeline and new business for years to come. And I'm going to send this to you over the next 10 days. Every day you're going to get a different training just on how to find new customers, increase sales, get more clients. But included in that is the training I mentioned earlier, where you can actually get free Google Ads traffic for growing your B2B, SaaS. And the power of this is Google has high intent users on there searching, and pay per click on Google. Obviously, the costs have gone up because everything goes up over the years as people use it more and more. But Google's got a new part of the site that not a lot of people are taking advantage of yet, where you can actually rank right at the top with those ads without having to pay money and without having to do SEO that takes 6 months and any crazy lunacy like that. And what I like about it is these are high intent searching users coming, trying to get their painful problem solved. And if you can get in front of those people, those are going to be the folks who are, most likely to buy from you sooner than later. So if you want that, definitely just, in the links below, I'll have that there. Go ahead and sign up for the course there, and you'll get both. And also, you should have your notebook. Circle right now, what's the action step you can take away today and implement today? Comment in the comments below like what your action step is, so that we can build a community and keep each other accountable on the things that we're working on. So what's your number one action step from this video today? Can't wait to see that. Hit the bell and subscribe. My next video is going to be on actually like inbound lead sales calls. So when you get sales calls coming in inbound, like what to say, my kind of newest secret strategies, my pro tips for how to handle those sales calls, especially how you start them off, but also how you end them. And that way you can just average bigger deals, land more clients, have an easier sales process, because I really struggled with sales when I was first starting. Like, it just wanted something easier and streamlined that got results, but that also served people. So that'll be the next video. As always, hit the bell and subscribe. Keep up the great work and stay awesome.